Recording on the video.
If you did not tell me that was Scotch, it has a bourbon hint to it, doesn't it?
Start recording on the recorder.
I like it a lot.
Alrighty. And we are ready. Tim sounds okay. His audio sounds a little weak, but that's fine. I can fix that in post. You sound... Give me another audio check, Tim.
Sure. Check 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Sounds fine in my headphones.
Yeah.
I mean, I can move the mic closer to my mouth, but we're going to have the same problems the last time where you're going to hear every single
Nope.
breath I take.
That sounds perfect. I twisted some knobs.
I was like a heavy breather last time, guys.
Mark liked it.
Yeah.
Okay. 15 seconds of silence starting now. Fire up your cigar. This is Stogie Geeks, episode 14.
Got a lot of nice comments on this shirt.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Stogie Geeks podcast. This is episode 14, and I'm your host, Paul Asadorian, joined by the regular cast and crew. Well, we'll call them the cast of characters here. We'll start with our remote guest and co-host, of course, Tim Muggerini, joining us via Skype. Welcome, Tim.
Hola. How's everybody doing?
We're doing fantastic. To my right is, of course, none other than Stogie Santa.
Good evening.
And, of course, across from me is Mark. Welcome, Mark.
Well, hello.
And we're all here in Studio B, and we're smoking the cigar of the week, the Quesada Molotov. How do you say the first part?
You asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you, because we're going to start the show with some entertainment value, so I'm asking you how to pronounce something.
Oh, boy. You don't even have to be here.
I don't know, man.
Tim, and you get slammed.
That's right. That's right.
Help me out, Stogie Santa.
Here we go. So,
it just says Molotov.
yeah, we'll just say Molotov. Like a Molotov cocktail, you know, like they all use in the good revolutions, have the Molotov cocktails. And Mark wants to take a look at that. Have you smoked one of these?
It's Coup D'etat.
Coup D'etat?
Well done.
Very nice. Well done.
Sounds good to me.
So, have you guys smoked one of these yet?
Yes, I have.
And what did you guys think of it?
Oh, I enjoyed it. Again, don't try to compare it to the Spanish release.
España, yeah.
The España, totally different. I think it's a great cigar. It's going to take some time, maybe a couple of sticks to get people aboard. Opens up nice with a nice little subtle spice to it. I think the construction on a cigar is very, very, very good.
Yeah, it's burning. It's burning great.
Yeah. I was
the
kind
draw is
of
fantastic.
I expected some problems that I never got. So
I think with time,
It's a very interesting looking cigar. I'll hold it up for the cameras here. It's a very, very unique shape. Again, to be shaped like a Molotov cocktail. I'd say it's almost like a Salomon Perfecto, but it's got it's almost like one side has more tobacco in it than the other. It's kind of lopsided, I would call it. So, very interesting. We'll put some pictures up of the cigar before it was clipped and lit as well, so everyone can see that. Tim, what do you think of yours so far? Did you just light up?
I did just light up, man. Open with a lot of power, but I'm enjoying it. The draw is free-flowing, lots of smoke, lots of spice. So far, so good.
Excellent, excellent. And we'll give regular updates as to how our cigar is doing. Did you have the specs on this one, Tim? We talk about binder
it's
filler.
5x58 Perfecto, Dominican Puro, from what I read. And I believe this was a special release to raise awareness of the government's taxation and.
Now, which government would that be?
That would be the U.S. FDA's.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
To regulate premium cigars.
Gotcha.
And tax them.
Right.
Very nice.
So I believe every box comes with a membership application to Cigar Rights of America.
CRA, that's correct.
Very cool. And like I said, it's good. I'm liking it. It's not wowing me.
It's good, man.
Well, let's go around to Stogie, Santa, and Mark and see what they're smoking.
I have a 2005 Cohiba Robusto. That's absolutely wonderbar. Smoking excellent.
I have one of those as well.
Oh,
It's a split room.
Now, Stogie Santa gifted me one of those a while back, and it is absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Phenomenal.
Now, is this
Without
the
a
forbidden
doubt.
fruit, or is it the Dominican fruit?
This is forbidden for the
Forbidden
fact
fruit?
that, yeah, I had a box of these, and as I'm a slut that I am, I almost held on to these for almost like 3 months, and I did very well.
As in, you didn't smoke them for 3 months.
Right. I mean,
And now
whatever.
you're tearing back into the box.
Right. This is the last 2 that I had left, and Mark,
Of the whole box.
of the whole
And
box.
how did you
So
you
you
acquire
did.
the box in 2005, or did you buy it?
No, I had that box in 2008.
Yeah.
I did some trading. I let it sit for a little bit, put it in the back of the Yumi, pulled one out, pulled out another one, and I just said, hey, you know something?
Yep, all over.
You
right?
don't know. You guys could be smoking when I'm up in heaven. So I said, hell with that.
That's right. No, I like the regular.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
That's the regular Cohiba line.
Right, not a
Different
Siglo.
from the Siglo.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
tend
a
to
big
like. Yeah, I like the regular
I think
Cohiba line better than the
Siglo is
Siglo.
very, very.
I think it's more
overrated.
mild. I think it's mild, or not as strong as the regular
It's not as
Cohiba line.
flavorful. It just
Yeah.
doesn't have that flavor, and maybe some different. But this, a lot of people Cohibas to me are a hit or miss, but this particular one is just dead on nuts. Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, it's a
I'll
great.
be
smoke.
Honestly,
as
the
well,
Siglos never really wowed me. It's a good smoke, but
Exactly, I agree with you.
yeah.
So let's move on to what are we drinking? Let's show everyone what we're drinking. We got some scotch here in the
Tim,
studio.
this is
as
your name
usual.
all over it.
Too bad you couldn't
Save
join
me
us here,
some.
Tim. More for us. Oh, you got it on your camera there.
Can you
yes.
see it?
Yes. This is the Yamazaki single malt 18-year whiskey.
Yes.
It's delicious. I've also got some Chimay, the red label. I forget what they call that one. I can't see it. It's behind me.
Red
but-
label.
The red label. Yeah, the one with the red label on it.
Again,
Yeah, it's a Trappist ale. There's a red, a
Yes.
blue, and is it a green
I don't know. I had the,
or
I had
gold?
the
I
blue.
don't remember.
The blue
There's
was
3
very
different colors.
There may be both of those.
Yeah.
Gold,
There's
I
at least
don't
3
know.
different colors.
Speaking of liquor, and we'll keep this very, very quick. Get back on with the show. Is the new Innocent Gun with the stout aged in Scotch barrels. Yummy,
That's
yummy,
a great.
yummy.
That's a great one.
Yes.
That has the Scotch aged beer is Innocent
Yep.
and Gun. I had one. We had one the other night. I think Mark and I were in here smoking one night, and I brought out a bottle of barrel aged. I forget what it was. It was not good, really, at all.
Samuel Smith's, maybe?
No, there was some other one we drank while we were in here, and it was just kind of eh. So
When I'm thinking Scotch and beer, I mean, Scottish do the great things with beer, but with these 2 things together, whoever put this together did a great job.
well, I know you guys are big fans of bourbon. Not to get too far off on a sidetrack, but when you go to Louisville, Kentucky, the bourbon aged beer that's fermented in bourbon casks is on tap on like every restaurant. It's really good. It's kind of sweet, but it's good.
Syrupy smell to it. Oh my God,
Yeah, that's delicious.
Japanese.
It's going well with the cigar too. It's not overpowering.
No.
I have the
Speaking-
Yamazaki 12-year, which I polished off last night when I was in the workshop by myself, a little decompression time,
Yep.
and that was really good too.
Tim, how
Speaking
far?
of which,
Excuse me.
I went in to grab a 4-pack of the Bourbon Barrel Ale today, and they were all out. So I ended up buying a bottle of bourbon. Go figure.
Weird.
I am drinking the Redemption Kentucky Bourbon. Very good.
Very nice. So on to what we've been smoking. I did last night. I smoked the Por Larrañaga Monte Carlo. I revisited this smoke. It's from a box I purchased late last year. They're dated somewhere in 2011. I forget the actual box date. This is the second one I've smoked from this box, which one of them was plugged. So I just grabbed another. They're not overly expensive where I don't have to fight with them. I'm just lit up another one. This one had a great draw. The first third was absolutely fantastic. It had kind of a little citrus. You get a little citrus flavor
Right.
from this cigar, and a little bit of cedar, I would say. And the rest was sort of the same thing, and I got kind of bored towards the end.
Yeah.
But I think the age definitely improves
it
the
does.
smoking experience on
It
this
mellows
cigar.
out that citrus taste.
I could almost see as it ages like the first third being how the whole cigar smokes and being a little more complex. So
Absolutely.
Now, what size is that, Paul?
The Monte Carlo is like a 6 by 32 or
38,
38 or 36 or something like that. Yeah, it's like a pencil. In fact, I've got one right here. Hang on. I'll hold it up for the camera if I can find the right camera. Yeah, they're very thin. They're kind of dainty, but very flavorful. I'd call that dainty, right?
Sure. It's the Virginia
notice the grip.
It's very. You have to. Well, when you smoke a dainty cigar, you have to have a dainty grip. I think.
Okay.
You smoke a big ring gauge cigar, you can grab it like a man.
Those small little thin things.
I'm very familiar with that size phallic symbol.
Moving on.
Did you see how expertly I grabbed? It was like I had practice or something. Yeah.
Did you put your pinky up when you smoked that?
Yes, you do put your pinky up when you smoke it. Tim, what do you got on your list?
Something you gave me, Paul. Actually, I reviewed it for the site.
It's just the longest name for a cigar I've ever seen in my life. So make sure you say the whole name for our listeners now.
I don't know how many syllables are in this thing, but I got to count them up.
It's a lot.
La Gloria Cubana Reserva Figuerotos Fletches Especiales Maduro.
That's a mouthful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the 6-inch Perfecto, sexy looking stick, man. I've had these before.
You said you liked them in the past.
Oh, yeah, I still like them.
Good.
Great dark flavors, licorice, leather, hickory, almost like a charred meat type thing going on in the middle. The only problem is these things, when I've smoked them in the past, I've had the same problem. It's a slightly tight draw.
Yeah.
And I really have to work at getting the smoke out of them. I gave them a box-worthy rating. I'm sorry, a 5-er rating. If it wasn't for the draw, they probably would have got a box-worthy, though.
I gotcha.
Yeah, a great smoke. I like to smoke more of them. Maybe I've just had bad luck with them.
I applaud your creativity in describing the flavors. I'm not that creative. Charred meat. I like that.
I'll tell you what, man. The middle of that smoke, all I could think of was it reminded me of a smoker.
Like a smoky, yeah.
Yeah, the hickory,
a toasty flavor, Tim, or
more than toasty. I get
More
toasty
than-
off a lot of
okay.
cigars, but yeah, a little bit more intense.
okay.
It's not a full flavored or full strength cigar. It has a lot of flavor. I actually smoked it in the morning with a cup of coffee, and it did not.
You're a trooper.
I had no issues whatsoever with nicotine. I was in the mood for something dark, and this thing was sitting there for the last month, and I grabbed it.
There you go.
But
Nice.
yeah, really hard to describe. I enjoyed it, though.
Very cool. I smoked my last. It very well could be the last. I got these from Mark. The San Cristobal de la Habana 2005 La Puntas. I don't think there's that many left in your collection. You got 3 left. I mean, you got three fingers. Yeah, 3 left. I had 1 left from 2005, and it's just awesome. It's like a subtle sweet flavor that doesn't overwhelm your palate. It complements to like your drink and whatever meal that you had. I find no matter what time of the day you smoke them, it's very, very smooth. It's interesting though. I like the 2011 versions probably just as much as the aged ones. They just have different flavors, and your smoking experience is the same. Every single one of these I smoked, I swear the construction and burn has just been impeccable. It pours tons of smoke, especially for a Cuban, which tends to have a little tighter draw. And the aged ones versus the new ones, I find just different flavors. But I enjoy them equally as much. It's one of the very few sticks where ones that aren't aged versus ones that are aged, I enjoy tremendously.
I just hope that they mature into what they smell like right at this moment. They're smoking pretty good at this moment, but if they can just
Smell
age,
incredible, yeah.
exactly. When they mature into that smell, that's going to be great.
Yeah, they are. Like I said, the smoking experience is A+ on this stick.
Oh, I love
Totally
the stick.
agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
It's tough to describe like experience. It goes beyond, I guess, burn and draw. Because there are some smokes that have a good burn and draw, and I wouldn't say it's an A+ smoking experience. I don't know.
Sure.
It's just got layers.
Combination of
layers
things.
of flavor.
Yeah. Over to you, Tim.
All right, I took down the La Aurora Preferito Ruby that you gave me, Paul.
Oh, yes.
Also reviewed this on the site. A+ construction, really, hands down to the La Aurora rollers that roll these things. I've never had one that really burned bad. Good flavors. I found it lacked a little complexity. I liked the flavors. Got a little bored with it. it's one of those smokes where I can't help but think about the full retail price.
Oh, it's
I mean,
crazy.
these things go for 18 to $20.
I was going to say, I thought it was
a stick.
14. It's 18. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Because they're small. I mean, what's the size on that? It's like a 5x50 Perfecto or something.
5x52, I believe,
Yeah.
or 54.
Or 50,
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, great smoke. You can pick them up on sale all the time on auction or online.
Yeah, yeah.
And I definitely recommend doing so. I would.
They
not
kind of
pay
whore
the full
themselves out,
price.
that Perfecto line. I mean, they price them high, and
It's 'cause they're
then
so
they whore them out
overpriced.
Right.
on auction.
Exactly.
Now, Stogie Sandy, you had some aged ones that were kicking around that were just phenomenal.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
with these sticks with age, and I'm not sure if it's that batch from that year was particularly good, because
Oh,
I've got a
they're
bunch of the
just
newer ones,
outstanding.
and this is a pretty good example of how not always the newer cigar that doesn't have age is a sharp contrast to the aged version of itself, and I think that's because of blending. I think they really can't get the same tobacco in
Right,
there.
it's blending in Mother Nature, and Mother Nature is never going to produce the same crop over and over
Yep.
again.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
I
not
think
going
you're
to
right.
happen.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some subtle variations, but if it's going to be dry one year, rainy another, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, the blending has a lot to do with it, but with Mother Nature doesn't give you something to work with. It is what it is.
No, we'll do a full segment on aging, Tim, but I know you said a listener had a question about aging, and I think that's a really good point, is that
Yeah.
sometimes
Somebody
when
wrote in and
you
asked
have an
us.
older cigar that's just phenomenal. A lot of it is, some of it's aging, but some of it's just maybe the crop from that year was better than subsequent years. So.
Right,
Indeed.
absolutely.
You might even find that more in Cubans than you do in other
Yeah.
things because of the fact that it only comes from Cuba.
Oh, boy, oh,
Yeah,
boy.
we'll definitely bring that up on an upcoming episode. I think it's
That'd
going to
be
be
a
a
great
fantastic
topic.
segment.
Yeah, Mark and Stogie Santa are just kind of lost in their cigars right now. I can tell they're not they're kind of just, they're so relaxed. They're kind of just enjoying the cigar. They're like, yeah, we're doing a show, but that's
Speaking
second
of which,
to.
man, I'm enjoying this thing.
I'm really liking this one a lot. I'm
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
I'll hold it
I'm
for the
glad-
camera.
I'm
I'm kind
telling
of at the point where it's getting into the meatier part, the larger ring gauge portion of the cigar, and the flavors kind of changed up a little bit. The spice and peppers mellowed out, and it's got some great flavors.
And like I'm saying, like Half Wheel does a great job with everything they do. I just didn't quite understand the rating. What was it, 85 mark? Or 83? Again, it's a
This
personal.
cigar?
On this cigar, Tim, yes,
I thought it was
83.
definitely better than an 83.
Oh, I
it's
mean,
better than that.
oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean,
Yeah, but what is an 83 versus a 90?
This is,
you know,
it's all. No, I can't agree with
The
you.
numbers,
A number, it doesn't mean anything. It's just like anything else. Someone may want to smoke this, and they'll find out it's not spicy enough, too spicy, whatever.
It's
but
interesting. I was
they're hitting
listening
home runs.
to another cigar show. I can't remember which one. It escapes me at the moment. But they were talking about ratings and how much do you follow the ratings. And it was interesting as, you got to the people who had been smoking longer, they tended to pay less and less attention to ratings.
Oh,
And the
absolutely.
newer smokers tend to rely on ratings to know what's good. But what you find as you progress through your smoking career, as it were, that, everyone has their own opinion. And it may not match yours, and you may really, a stick that's rated an 83 out of 100, for that site is not a very good rating, actually.
No.
I mean, if you get an 83 out of 100 on a test, that's pretty good, right?
Right.
You're not failing, right? But an 83 of 100 is not good for that site. But I still bought a 5-pack because
I think it's going to develop into it's only a 10 count
I
box.
liked the shape, right? I was ordering from this. We'll talk about where I ordered from, but I was ordering anyway. I like the shape. I like the brand lately. They've been hitting them out of the park.
Oh,
Quesada's been
absolutely.
really great. So an 83 isn't horrible, right? I mean, if they said it was a 40 or a 50, I might have to question
I don't think
my
you never
purchase.
see that.
But you never see that on their site. That's why I'm like, why do they have a rating from 1 to 100 if everything's 80 or above?
Right. Well, I think that's just being very diplomatic. They're not going to slam anything. But I look at myself. I look at a cigar being excellent, being very good, and just poor. That's how I rate my cigars.
I mean, I don't mean to seem like because I'm here today, I don't mean to seem like I am playing favorites here, but I like the rating of how many would you buy?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, would you buy 1 or 2
Right.
and
Right.
be happy with it? Would you buy 5 to 6, 7, 8, be happy with it, or would you buy a box?
Right.
Or would you just buy as many as you can get your
Exactly.
dirty,
yeah.
filthy
That's
hands
what we're
on?
trying to
You
do
know,
with
and
our
I-
ratings.
Right.
We're trying to put something behind it where people can conceptually get, is it a 5 or is it box worthy, or would I crawl across the desert to get to as many as I possibly could?
Right.
With regular ratings, though, the first thing I look at is how they describe the flavor profile, how they describe the draw, because those are the things that are going to be unique to what I like. Not the number.
I agree with that as well.
It also depends on how many cigars they smoked for the review.
Exactly.
If you look at Burning Construction, if they smoked one, we all know it's a handmade product. I mean, I've smoked one. I mean, and I'm notorious for this lately, right? I'll smoke one and be like,
you had the
"My
Polar
God,
D
it's
syndrome.
like unsmokable," and I'm like, "This can't be what everyone's raving about." And I just happen to get a bad one.
And not only how many you smoke is, just think about it when it comes into our shop. It's right off the truck, and a lot of people say, well, it's age, it's this and that, but it's sitting on the truck. It's cold, it's whatever. And I think it's really important to get a real good grip on it to say, is it that good for a box-worthy 5 or whatever? I agree with Mark's. I love our rating. I guess I'm a little partial to it, but I love it. And as you smoke one fresh out of the box, and you're sitting there, oh, this is this is that. And you're going to go back to it like 2 or 3 weeks down the line. And then, okay, I'll get a box with it. But some of the limited stuff, you got to use your experience.
Choice,
You're right. Yeah. For instance, the 10 gauge, we'll talk about later in the show. You got to jump on that all day long because with your expertise, So keep that in mind, Paul, the listeners, what Paul was saying.
So
more than one.
Speaking of Quesada, I smoked an España Robusto, and it was after a nice Italian meal that I had in downtown San Francisco. It was gnocchi. It was very yummy, actually. And then while walking, while walking down the streets of San Francisco, I smoked this cigar. Now, it did the job. I wish I could have been sitting in a lounge with a nice cocktail and after dinner, like a cognac or something. And been sitting somewhere to smoke it. However, its great sweet flavors shined through, which really I think speaks to where this cigar's positive points are, is that the sweet flavor, no matter where or how you're smoking it, is going to come through even if you're just walking around and talking at the same time. It made me forget some of the kind of non-highlights from my trip and focus on the positive, which, I think that's sometimes really needs a good cigar to remind you that, life is good. I mean, really, when you think about it, things are never that horrible. I mean, sometimes they could be, but you put things in perspective and you're like, wow, I light up a cigar, I'm walking with my friends, we're on a nice trip,
Paul, not to get off subject, but gnocchi, back to the gnocchi. Vodka sauce, red sauce, or Alfredo?
It was a red sauce, and it was good, but it wasn't anything like the North End in Boston or Providence restaurants could produce, but it did the job.
Sounds fantastic.
Okay, Jim, here we are. We're about a third way of going through our Molotov. How far are you going through yours right now, Tim, on your Molotov?
I'm approaching the halfway mark.
And how about, again, I'm just curious, I want to not measure, but I want to hear your comments compared to what I think about it, so shoot away.
I'm liking it, man. The draw for me is absolutely perfect. I mean, the perfect amount of smoke is pouring off of this on every single draw. It's making a hell of a mess on my keyboard. I mean, it's flaking everywhere. Wow. But the ash is holding.
Mine's not doing that. No.
Yeah, I don't know why mine is, but you know what? I don't give a shit. Excuse my language. It's a nice. I'm going to say medium to full bodied smoke.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it started off stronger.
Yep.
With the pepper.
I like the spice and the pepper up front. Yep.
It's kind of mellowed out a little bit into a little bit of wood and more mild spice now. Best cigar I've smoked all weekend, be honest with you. So.
Yeah, I can't place the flavors. They're very enjoyable. I'm not able to place them quite yet, but
right. And for the listeners out there, that's just an MSRP on this is $7.50. So it's a very, we can talk about high-end cigars, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're looking at a cigar, it's $7.50. Yeah, that's it. $7.50. You cannot go wrong.
Yeah, now I would place this higher than the La Aurora Pref Ruby that I was just talking about. I would buy more of these than that.
Because of the price, you're saying?
The price, and I just think the construction and flavor profile more suits my personal preference. But
that's the whole thing.
La Aurora has a very distinct flavor, and Quesada is definitely not anywhere close to that. I would say this is nothing like anything from La Aurora smoked. So, back to you, Tim.
Speaking of Quesada, I took down 2 Españas myself this week. I revisited the Robusto. And I took down a Corona yesterday morning with coffee.
I want to hear this.
Both sent from Stogie Santa this week. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Much enjoyed. I love both formats equally as much, but I think I would stick to the Robusto after that gnocchi dinner at night because it has a little bit more power and strength, and a little more full flavored. And I would stick with the Corona with the coffee in the morning.
Okay.
I love both sticks. I had no issues with the Corona. I know, Paul, you had some issues construction-wise.
Well, I had one that had a tight draw that was poorly constructed, but I've smoked the Robusto,
The short Robusto.
the short Robusto, and the Toro. And out of all three of those, I mean, the Corona aside, I like the short Robusto the best, and I really like that form factor. But I want to get around to smoking a Corona that'll actually smoke for me.
It's funny. I found
What everyone else is saying is their
I
favorite
love
size.
the
so.
Corona's
the
my
Corona.
favorite size so far.
I agree, and I found the Robusto there again. Like Tim made a great point. It's a personal preference. I found the Corona just slightly stronger than the Robusto. That's
Really?
right. Yeah.
I did too.
Yeah, I did. I just usually that's it's going to always work like that when the smaller cigars tend to see have it. On a majority of any stick, it's always going to be stronger than your bigger ring. Not in every case. There's always a gray area. But that being said, like you're saying, the Robusto's outstanding. The whole line. My two favorite are the short Robusto, Corona, then Robusto. That's again. There's no wrong saying Robusto, etc. There's no incorrect.
See, I like the
ratings.
Robusto better than the short Robusto, but
Yeah,
still
see
the
what I mean?
Corona being my
Yeah,
favorite.
me too. See what I'm saying? Three people.
If I had to pick a favorite, I'd pick the Corona only because lately I've been leaning towards more medium-bodied smokes these days. But equally box-worthy.
It's almost
without a doubt.
If
it's
you can
almost
find
as
them.
if
Aging potential are fantastic on both of them.
it's almost as if you wish you could purchase a box of 3 or 4 different sizes.
Yes.
I mean,
I
four
would
would
buy
four would
box
make a
of all
nice
three
round number,
boxes.
and you get 5 of each size, 4 different sizes, box of 20.
Yeah.
To me, that would be ideal because they all smoke slightly differently.
Mhm.
But to buy a whole box, you have to pick a size.
Oh, it'd
So-
be the Corona for me without a doubt.
Absolutely, Corona.
Yeah, if I had to pick a size, it'd be the Corona.
Excellent. Someone sent me, a good friend of mine, my friend Jeff, sent me some cigars, and I have to send some back to him. I just received them the other day, and I've been traveling. So, Jeff, if you're listening, I'm going to send you back some fabulous stuff, I promise. I might even consult with Stogie Santa and send you a nice, a special Paul and Stogie Santa package, because Jeff sent me 5 CAO Sopranos with some age.
Wow.
Cellophane looked a little brownish on those bad
A little
boys.
dingy.
Yeah,
Robusto,
it was
right.
the Toro size. So it was a soldier, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. And then he sent me like 3
This is better
short
than
story Maduros and
Nice.
3 bestseller Maduros. Now I never had the bestseller. We talked about it on the last
they're
show.
great.
I mean, if you liked the short story, the bestseller is just a little more of that goodness that you get in the short story. It's a 4.5 by 52. I'm assuming it's the Connecticut broadleaf wrapper that they're
Yeah.
using on there.
Yes.
Nice smooth flavors, great burn and construction. I mean, it was right up there with the Hemingway Maduros. It's not the journey that you have to go on when you smoke an Untold Story or a Masterpiece.
Right.
But it's becoming one of my more favorite sizes in the line because a short story for me is absolutely, it's like heaven, but it just ends too quickly for me. So having in a little bigger
Time
sizes,
allowance.
yeah.
Time allowance.
So I'm not sure if it's the inconsistency in the blend, but I occasionally I'll get a Hemingway Maduro that'll just be bland, without flavor.
I never occurred.
I've had 1 or 2 that are just
You, Mark?
meh.
No,
I'm going to be honest, man. Same here.
Okay.
I mean, the majority of them are.
I smoked a
Phenomenal.
lot of Fuente when I first started getting serious about smokes a few years ago. And I got very, very frustrated because of the inconsistency. I love the brand. I think they put out some great smokes, but yeah, I'd have to agree with you there, Paul.
Well, no, their Cameroon wrapper is it's just
Yeah,
okay.
no,
It's nothing.
I don't even buy them, to be honest.
Yeah,
with you.
yeah. The Cameroon
But
wrappers.
the work of art Maduros.
the Maduro.
The work of art Maduros are
work of
good.
art Maduros. I mean,
Yeah.
I could.
Right. I could eat them.
Yeah.
I might smoke them.
All right.
Let's
see. I'd call this box worthy. In the finish, the cocoa finish, on pretty much all these Hemingway Maduros is to die for. I mean, it's just so enjoyable. It gets down to the end, and unlike Davidoff, where it tastes like ass, to be quite honest, but the
One more of
Hemingway.
those, and this is going to turn into a TVMA.
Yeah. Sorry.
but ass can be taken different ways.
That's right.
You're
So-
an ass. I'm an ass. Anyway.
What's a jackass? I guess.
Yeah,
Well, anyway,
anyway.
the cocoa finish is
Yeah,
just
it's-
unbelievable.
Oh, what does ass taste like?
Yeah,
Sorry.
like a Davidoff when he gets down to the end.
Very good comeback. Very good comeback.
Well played. Well played.
Yes. Oh my God!
boy.
I'm telling you, I haven't had this pairing at this good time in a long time.
So you've got one more on your list, Tim.
Yeah, the Viaje Super Shot 10 gauge, which we mentioned earlier. A 3.5 by 54. I'll call it a nub, for lack of a better term. Wow, a lot of flavor, a lot of strength. This thing gave me a nicotine buzz like nothing else has.
Oh, it's
Like,
I agree. Isn't that
I
the
smoked
truth?
this at 10 o'clock last night after a full meal. I had, a good amount of scotch in me, and I still had to sit down on my deck because halfway through it, I was like, wow. I think Ben from NTA, has it correct. It's going to age fantastically.
Oh, yeah.
That's I was talking to Ben about that, and he was waiting for him to come in. I had that comment to him, and
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
I love
Now, how does it compare to the some of the Skull and Bones releases, the ones with the black and red label? They're of a
Totally
similar
different.
size,
No,
totally
no,
different.
Again, I think it's a much like Tim was hitting on.
Even stronger than those.
Really?
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I would say it's stronger but more flavorful too.
I
I
don't
thought
know.
those were strong when they
the,
first
the,
came
the
out.
the tastiest of all the Skull and Bones was a Daisy Cutter. I think that was probably one of my top 10 cigars.
Yeah.
Thanks to Stogie saying I
yeah,
have one in my
yeah.
humidor just waiting.
So
Goes back to our thing where we say smoke them while you got them, and then
Yeah,
we're on a
it's-
kick on that for a while, and then
but,
we lost sight of it. We need to get back around to it.
I agree with what Mark's assessment on this particular smoke. It's a lot like that box press on the the Halloween release. That peppery. I think this is a little bit stronger. If I was
Oh,
gonna
so
put-
stronger than the
agree.
mystery cigar. That's
Oh,
the
I
thought
mystery.
so,
Yeah.
And the mystery I loved. I mean, I probably bought
oh,
12 to 15 of those
close
total,
to a box.
and I still have 6 or 7 left that I'm trying to hold on to. But I thought this one hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not a short smoke. I mean,
No.
it's only
Oh,
3.5
it
Not at all.
isn't it? Not at all. I can't agree with
It
you
took
more.
me an hour to take it down.
Yeah, it was funny you said that, Tim. We have people come into the store, and of course you have some people are just a human vacuum cleaners. Doesn't matter what you put in front of them, they can't taste the cigar and they suck it down. I'm telling you, I was trying to explain to people that it's going to take an hour smoke, and you look at the cigar and they look at you like you got to be kidding me, but they come back and they all agree.
The
think it's
Molotov
a
was
great-
like that for me too.
Yeah, like I can't get.
Was a
I feel like I can't get
surprisingly
past
long
this point.
smoke.
Yeah.
For something that's less than 6 inches
what
long,
time is
it
it
was
now?
surprisingly long.
It's
Agree.
8:54.
I mean, we were smoking this for almost an hour. and
Almost
I
an hour
still
now. There you go.
Well, no, it's more like 40 minutes, but still 40 minutes, and I'm only an inch and a half into the cigar.
Yeah, I'm at about the halfway mark.
I was
right
pleased
now.
about that too.
Yeah, I like that. I like
Because
that
it's a good
quality in a
smoke,
cigar.
and it,
Right.
Kind of hung around a little bit.
Some
which is
cigars
good.
do burn too fast.
Oh, yeah,
for their
without a doubt,
size.
yeah.
Yeah.
So with the 10 gauge, I'm on the fence. I'm going to say 2 5ers. How many are in a box, Stogie?
Those are 25. I would say that's going to be box worthy because what's going to happen? It's going to take the same road as the Daisy Cutters.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
again, we all say here, we're all telling you, smoke a couple of sticks, wait till it comes out. Once you have a refined palate, I'm not trying to sound like a snot here, but you turn around and you can pick it up. I think this is a complete box-worthy purchase, and you sit on these things, and these things are going to be this similar to a Daisy Cutter in the smoke, the taste, everything. Not the same smoke, but similar.
Now, what does the box go for out of curiosity?
Let me see. They're $650 a pop. So you're looking at what, something around 35. Let me see. I can't do the math. I'm sitting here kind of like mellowed out with this
Around
scotch.
150.
Yeah,
somewhere.
well, give or take, right?
Yeah.
And if you can find them, if you're lucky, I'll tell you.
I'm going to say box worthy then. I wasn't sure about the price and the box size.
And
but
I'll
yeah.
tell you, wait till you do the friends and family. Oh.
I picked the wrong week to go away. We'll talk about some upcoming releases in our next episode, and maybe some of the stuff that has just been released as well. Because while I was away this week, all kinds of stuff was released. And
Viaje went on a
Viaje went on. They shipped like all kinds of stuff. So we'll take a short break here and come back and talk about some upcoming 2012 releases. Then after that, we're going to do a segment of 5 tips that I have for people doing some online cigar
I'm telling
shopping.
you,
And
this is fucking unbelievable.
Mark and Stogie Santa will take a short nap after their cigar coma kind of kicks in. And Tim and I will come back and give you an update on our Molotof from Quesada.